for a while. So I'm not gonna come back with none of these videos. People come back and say, "Well, I haven't gone live because it's that and the third." So, but I did change my channel name, and I did because I wanted to kind of match where my Mercury is in my chart, which my Mercury is in the 10th house in the sign of Libra. So study that, and you can kind of understand a little bit more what I mean by that. But I did want to talk about Saturday, which is really Saturn Day. So, like, if you know anything about the planet Saturn, then you can understand why Saturday is Saturn. Now, first of all, you got to understand that there are 7 original planets, and it starts from the Sun, Moon, um, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. And it's 7, and it represents the 7 days of the week. Why can't I talk now? And so Saturday is the last planet, the last original planet, and Saturday is the last day of the week. And then Sunday is the first day of the week. But you know what we do? We technically start our work week on a Saturday, and then we continue our work on a Sunday. And then when Monday come, it's kind of tricky because that feels we made that into the actual first day of the work week, and that's not true. So the first day of the week really is on a Sunday. Okay. I'm sorry. I want to just hey Joseph. I just wanted to um well, I guess I gotta close that right now. Okay. So let's think about it in practical terms. Why is it that we take care a lot of work on a Saturday that we couldn't handle during the week? Because we make that into accumulation of the last thing that we need to do, because the Sunday is a brand new week. But we also do work on a Sunday, which we should not do work on a Sunday. That is why it's so confusing on a Monday, because we trick our minds to do work on a Monday, and we already did it on a Sunday, but we're starting it on a Monday. That don't make sense. Another thing that don't really make sense is for us to end our work week with doing work on a Saturday, but that's what we do. So we need to at least understand why we do that. So I hope y'all understand this, because I wanted to talk about it. I was like, how can I say this in a video to make people understand what Saturday really is about? We do a lot. We take care of a lot of business. The stores are packed on a Saturday. Nobody's in school. Nobody's working. The stores are packed. We're taking care of all our things that we're trying to do for the end, for the beginning of the week, but we're not. We're doing it for the end of the week. And it is a work day. People need to understand that it's a work day. So I want to explain it that way so you can understand the energy of that day. Because astrology and all of this stuff is only about energy. And it's about the energy that's going on in your real life, like your life that's going for you. So when people get like natal readings from me and stuff like that, and I ask them questions, I think what they're looking for is this big explosive type of event, or this big explosive type of meaning. So I've said, oh, okay, well, I see that you're getting money. It could just be their paycheck. Or I can say, oh, I see that you didn't want to pay this bill or whatever. It could be around the first of the month and it's their rent, or their car payment or whatever's due on the first of the month. But you got to look at your own life as your own energy. So I chose the topic of the Saturday, or Saturn day, because that's what Saturday really is so that you guys can understand the energy. Okay, so and you can look at your actual life and say, do I do a lot of work on a Saturday that I couldn't do? Do I put it off until Saturday? Well, Saturday is the best way to is the best time to do work, but cumulatively, like finishing it up, not to start anything. Try not to start. You start on a Sunday. Don't start on a Saturday, and let your Monday be your second day of the week, not the first day of the week, the second day of the week. It'll be easier for you to understand how in the world are they figuring it out, or do they understand my astrology, the energy in my astrology? How can they explain it? Well, it's just your natural energy and your natural self. So I think that the days of the week is the best way to actually follow it. and then you can understand the energy. Hey, Lala. Okay, so I changed my channel name to Shonda La 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 Land. It's not just wanted to because I have, like I said, I kind of talk fast and think about a lot of things in my mind, and I just speak it out and communicate because that's where my Mercury is located. So people could kind of understand what's going on and how I hate doing titles because I like talking about anything that people want to talk about in astrology. So I rather do that. I rather answer questions and see where you guys are stuck at. And one thing I want to do is to explain to you guys how you could really the people who are trying to understand astrology and these aspects and everything. And I know that every astrologist say it's not about the zodiac signs, it's about the planets. Well, it is about the planets, but to understand how it works and to give an interpretation, you got to know the zodiac signs. You got to know the energy of the zodiac signs. You got to know what the Aries, the characteristics of an Aries and the traits. You got to know what a Scorpio, you got to know Capricorn. Like you have to know this energy from the beginning. Like you know how you meet a person and you say, "Well, what's your sign?" And then they say what their sign is. You're like, "Oh, okay. Well, whatever that okay is, that is what you got to understand how it works." And that's how you got to say, okay, I need to know what's the first zodiac, Aries, and second, third, all the way to the 12th, and understand why is it like that. And then you need to know it from this way to that way and from the 12th to the first. You need to understand that they all oppose and they square. and they so oppose meaning opposite, or they go together. Like you need to understand the energy of that. Once you understand the energy of that, you can answer and you could discuss anything in astrology. So I'm Saturn. That's why I always choose anything about Saturn. I love talking about Saturn. I like talking about Saturn returns. Like, how old are you right now? How old are anybody in here right now? So the main things with Saturn is going to hit you at 21 years old. Saturn is going to hit you at 29 years old. And Saturn is going to hit you if you're older. I'll say, well, let's use Saturn in a 7-day period so y'all can kind of feel it. A 7-year period, because that is the seventh. Think about Saturn. Saturn is so deep in our lives, and that life imitates astrology in this area. Because you not considered an adult, because Saturn is really grown up, older, mature. You're not considered a adult until you're how old? 21. Okay. So with Saturn, it's 21. That's when you're adult. You could do this, you could do that, but technically not because you can't do everything until you're 25. That doesn't match with Saturn, but you can't even rent a car until you're 25. You could be 21 all day, twice on Sunday, but you're not going to be able to rent a car. 28, 29 years old. Somebody said they're 28, 28, 29 years old. Saturn, no, my nose itching now. Saturn is the maturity. That is when you step up and you look at your damn life and you say, what is going on? I should be having this by this time, that by this time. Like you gonna look at, maybe I need to get married. Maybe I need to have a child. Maybe I need to buy a house. Like all these adult type of things, and you feel like you're turning into your parents type of thing. That's what Saturn is about. That's what 28, 29 is about. So look and see, when is Saturn going to return back to the original spot it was when you were first born? Because it takes approximately 29 years from the time that you come out your mother's womb and take your first breath. It takes whatever Saturn is in at that day, it's going to go around in the orbit 29 years, 28 years. And then it returns. So that's a Saturn return because it returned back. Once Saturn returns back, you 28, you 29. Sometimes it could be 30. It's according. Once that happens, you are like really getting nervous because it's an end. It's an end of this trend from 29, from a baby to 29 years old. You are completely 100% an adult. But it's the end of an era. It's like Saturday. Saturday is the end of the week. So think Saturn. Every time I talk about Saturn, think about it's accumulation of the ending of a thing. So when you're 29 years old, it's the end of childhood. It's the end of your youth, meaning it's the end of you thinking like a young person. It's the end of you waiting around and getting all the support from your family and your friends. It's the end. And then you're going to look at your life at that time and it's like a final exam and you're going to see, what is my score? Did I pass? Did I just pass? Am I average? Am I above average? Am I like excellent? Or am I so below the curve? Then you'll know the areas that you need to work on in your life. So if you want it to be a certain thing by 30, Saturn is saying, yo, okay, here you go. This is what you accumulated. This is what happened. This is the end. Like Saturday. Saturday is the end of the week. So Saturn is like, this is the end. It's nothing for you to do and start now. It's for you to end. And let's look at the scores. And then whatever subject area that you scored low in, that is what you need to work on. It's like a path for you to work on it instead of, but what do? We get depressed and we get sad and we talk about what all the stuff we wanted to do by a certain age. But that's crazy. That's counterproductive because Saturn is the ending of something. So it could grow you up. So think about all the things that you're kind of losing because Saturn is also taking stuff away completely from you that you don't need anymore. You needed it from a baby to before your Saturn return came. You needed it before then, but you don't need it now. You can no longer hold on to a crutch, a support family member. Now, it's not going to be like somebody died in your family. I'm not going to say that, but they're going to look at it like, you're old enough now where you don't need me, or you should be old enough now where you don't need me. Only thing I'm gonna be to you is a coach. I am not, you can't lean on me anymore. And then you're losing that. This family member had your back all these years, but now they don't because Saturn is saying it's no longer for you to drink from a bottle. Now you got to use a sippy cup. How many babies do y'all know that's so willing to give up their bottle to get a drink out of a cup with a straw? They keep holding on to that bottle. They are not letting it go. But we know as parents or as older people that it will give them, it's a disservice for them to keep them with a bottle. They need to step up and grow up. So yeah, we're taking something that's no longer working. So by the time you're 28, 29 years old and you have these sense of losses, it's not that you just screwed and you're just getting uh things are being taken away from you. It's taken away because it's no longer serving you, and then it's going to ready you for what you need in your life. So if you want to be married, look at the person you with. Do this person really seem that the can he be your husband? Can she be your wife? Can she be the mother of your children? Because sometimes the woman that you're with could be a good woman for you, but not a good mother of your child, and vice versa. The man that you're with, he's a good man for you to have you and him as man, woman, but he's not going to be a good dad for your child. So, is the man or the woman you're with right now, are they a candidate for a man for you and a man for your child, a father of your child? Is the woman you're with, is she good for you as just your girl or the mother of your child? You gotta look at that, and when your Saturn return, when you're 28, 29, it's gonna really look at that. And if you're just dating people, period, and you didn't make a commitment and you want to, then you gotta filter all these other people out that is not gonna be a long-term husband or wife for you. You can't have these dates because, well, Saturn not gonna let it happen. Saturn gonna break all those dates up. I hope y'all know that because like Saturday is the end of the week. So Saturn, when you are 28, 29, is the end of that period. So if you've been dating people and juggling people and all that kind of stuff, slowly but surely either you're gonna break up with them or they're gonna break up with you, or it's gonna start changing. It's not gonna work like it was working because it's not to begin, it's to end. Saturn is the ending. Saturn is the ending of something that how could I say the simplest way? That you were used to, it was working for you, but it had to grow you up now. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so then, and you look at like maybe you already married and you married young, maybe at 21. Because remember, it's that 7-year period. Or maybe you're 35, because every 7 years, Saturn do something, right? You're 35 years old, and maybe you've been married for that person for 7 years, and around 6 years, going on 7 years, you're really looking at your relationship like, yo, this is not working out. We grew apart. No matter what we do, we can't stay together. Like they call that the 7-year itch. So if any, even if you're not, it's either at 35 years old, if you're 35 right now, or you have been in a relationship for 7 years, 6, 7 years. Look at that relationship. Towards the end of it, you got to make a decision if you're going to keep it or not, because Saturn is saying this is not working for you, not the way it is. So either your whole entire relationship have to change, or you're going to break up with this person. And it may not be like, nothing bad, like something bad happened that he or she did, or it could, but it's going to be an ending of it, because it's not the time to stay. It's the time to make a change, but the kind of change is going to grow you up. And maybe you want a different kind of man or a different kind of woman, because maybe when you chose this person to be with 7 years ago, um, they were what you needed at 7 years ago. But now 7 years later, and then, you look at, or almost 6 years, it could be 6 to 7 years later, you're looking at it like, I can't. I don't want to be with this person. And just make sure that you end it. Try to talk sense into them too. Some people, I don't know why they do this, but some people get all mean and hateful when you break up with them. But oh well, it's not their life, it's your life. So you gotta do what you gotta do. Because if you stay when it's the time to end, everybody y'all know this. If you stay on a thing when you know in your heart and deep in your heart that it's time to end it, it's never gonna work out. It's gonna be rougher and rougher. It's like a big grocery bag that you're carrying is real heavy, and it's just things being added to that bag and get heavier and heavier for you to carry. Drop it off and go and fill the stuff up with a new bag. Anyway, look, so to recap really fast, Saturday of the week is the last day of the work week, not Friday. Please stop thinking that it's Friday. Stop thinking that Monday is the first day and Friday is the last day. Because then what is Saturday and Sunday? Nothing. Fun days? No. So Saturday, Saturn day, is the ending of something. So finish up everything you're supposed to do in a damn week. Sunday is the first day of your week. Okay. So I talked about that in the beginning. And then I'm talking about the people who are 28, 29 years old. You're really gonna look at all the mature things, buying a home, starting a family, getting married, buying a car, making payments, because your car just, you can't keep driving that car, because maybe the jobs that you want to go to, that's your career jobs, is further away, and you got to just get a car payment. You got to. And maybe you're sick of renting and you want to buy your home, or at least a rent to own or something. You want to start doing your investments and get a life insurance policy, because you have somebody that you want to leave behind with money and finances. Like, you're going to be starting to think of more like an adult. At the same time, though, please don't think that all is going to be kumbaya. It's not kumbaya. It's going to be painful, but it's good for you. It's like, you got to take this medicine. You got to take the medicine. So, with all that being said, I'm hoping that this video, you guys can match the energy of what it means, so that, if I come on and talk about more astrology stuff and zodiac signs and all that kind of stuff. Oh, and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn and Aquarius, but Aquarius now is more mixed with Uranus. So an Aquarius person, you're not going to really see them too much. You're not going to think Saturn too much with them, but definitely a Capricorn. If you're a Capricorn, everything I'm saying, it's like so normal. If you're not a Capricorn, it's according to where your Capricorn is at. If you have a moon in Capricorn or Mercury in Capricorn, then you kind of okay with this too. But it's I'm saying it's so normal and it's probably going to be so mean, but it's not. Anyway, so um I'm just going to answer. Look at, well, I said, you said your Saturn return will be in 2023. Well, if your Saturn return is going to be in 2023, that's a really good thing, because now you can look ahead and you can start making these plans, because it's inevitable. And how you can know to check for sure, you only gotta listen to Shonda. All of your the people, like, say 31, because by 31 everybody should went through it. Ask all your 31-year-old friends, what changed from, say when you were like 26 to 31, what changed in your life? And I bet you the kind of stuff they're gonna say is grown up, mature kind of things. Ask your mom if she can remember your dad, What happened when you're around 28, 29? A lot of people going who's really older, they're gonna be like, I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know. Maybe she had a child. Maybe she had you. Maybe she got married. Maybe she broke up. I mean, something in your life changed because Saturn took it away of all the stuff that you didn't need. And then, like I said, look at your 7 in a relationship. You're in a relationship for like 6 or 7 years, and it's time to end. Don't fight the ending. Just let it be. Let it go. Stop fighting. Stop working on it. Stop getting counseling, doing all of that to try to stop it. Right? Just if it's going to end, let it be natural. If it's not going to end, let it change and develop into what is going to be new. But this is done. Everything got an ending to it. We got a beginning, a middle, and an end. And Saturn is the end. You know what Saturn really is? Since we getting this Christmas thing, y'all know that Christmas story with the Scrooge. Is it the Scrooge? Well, anyway, when at the very end, Ghost of Christmas Past, the future, and all that, and that thing was like pointing like to the grave for him to get in, and that was his future. That was his final exam of everything he did up until that point, and it was death. It was, this is your punishment. You don't get to do another life. But then he woke up in the next morning, and that's the sun, and that's the Sunday, and it started just like your birthday starts. So all of my Capricorns right now, I know y'all kind of going through it, but usually Capricorns don't really feel this time to be really harsh because it's their period anyway, Saturn period. But the Sagittarius is, um, I know y'all kind of still and a little bit going through it, especially if your birthday is closer right before like the 20th of December. Just know that this is your Saturn period. It's the end of your year, or the Sagittarius is things gonna start looking up. Okay, things gonna start looking up. After that, I'm gonna just say about my Aquariuses. When right when Capricorn season come in, or a little bit of Sag Capricorn season come in, all my Aquariuses, do not get depressed. It's the ending of your personal year, your birthday year, right? So just know that until your birthday, everything that you did from your last birthday last year is an accumulation of everything you don't need to bring into your new year. So that's for my Sagittarius, my Capricorns, and a little bit low key for my Aquariuses. But that's for every sign. I just went through mine. I'm still in my birthday period because it started October 21st, and it lasts around a month and a half. So that's the best time of the year for us because it's that sun period. It's the Sunday. It's the first day of the week. All right, Saturday is the end. So all of y'all doing stuff on Saturday, please don't do anything to prepare for next week unless it's a long-term goal event. But don't try to start stuff when it's time to end stuff. Hope that makes sense. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming on here. Hey Norma Joe. I know. I'm gonna try to come on. I'm not gonna even sit here and say I'm not. I mean what I'm gonna do, but I appreciate y'all. you know. And I might go ahead and start doing some natal chart reading. So if y'all have natal charts and y'all want some better understanding of it, because just remember that your natal chart is your chart for the rest of your life. Hey, Queen Boomy, it's for the rest of your life. It's not when you get it; it's for your entire life. And I'm gonna do one. You know what? I was working on this. I'm gonna do a video on um the different how can I say, the sexes, um the genders, like male and female, the older woman, older man, young woman, so that the people who follow transits in astrology could understand, like, I'll give you an example. A Mercury is a very young person, or they're youthful. If they could be like 80 years old, but they kind of still got that youthful spirit in them. And who do Mercury rule? Gemini and Virgo. A lot of people think like Virgo don't have no, they like the old man. Yeah, but you gotta listen to how okay. But anyway, but Mercury and the Gemini, that's very, very young, right? That's why if you ever in a relationship, I know I said I'm gonna go, but I be thinking about stuff and it be popping in my mind. I want to give y'all this information. Mercury and Saturn. Mercury and Saturn is Capricorn and Gemini. If you are a Capricorn woman with a Gemini man, I'm gonna beseech, if you want to be in a relationship with him, please. I know you feel like you're the man in a relationship. I know you feel like you're the parent in a relationship. But he is going to do sneaky shit behind your back, just like a kid, a teenager would do when they don't want their parents to know what's going to happen. You're not going to like all their friends. They're going to think their friends are fine. The more type of diverse friends the Gemini have, the better for the Gemini. And if you don't understand that, when they're going to hide that they're going around that Gemini. And you might think is your intuition going to kick in like they're cheating or something like that. Well, they are. They're cheating on the fact that you're not going to like this friend. So stop being a parent, especially the woman, because the woman you don't understand. Like your feelings get hurt, Capricorn women, because you're trying to run everything. You can't run it. You either got to be a man or you got to be a woman. And if you're a woman, be the woman, because Capricorn women, you think you somebody parent, and maybe you are, but not in a relationship. Because the Gemini man would allow it, because the Gemini man, he thinking like, well, you know what? She holding the house down and she working and she taking care of the kids. And what she's saying is a serious thing. But I'm going to listen, but I'm going to rebel because I'm young. I want to have fun. And the Capricorn woman always gonna be on the phone with her friends talking about how immature he is, and because they're gonna say at first he was fun and all that kind of stuff, but he's gonna stay his way and you're gonna stay your way. So Mercury and Saturn, just look at those placements. Either if you're a sun or a moon. All right. My husband, Sonny, come in my life, please. My name is Shohana. Encourage to love life. What? I don't understand what you're saying, sweetie pie. With that being said, y'all have a good day. Um, have a good day. Saturn day. End everything you got to end today and don't bring it into next week. I'm sorry, Sunday start next week. Tomorrow start next week. Don't bring it into tomorrow. And what you got to do today, and that's it. Okay? So thank y'all. Thank y'all. Shonda la 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 land. Bye.